A peculiar discovery. In the vast expanse of the Andromeda Galaxy, the alien scout ship Zephyr glided silently through the star-studded void. Its sleek obsidian hull reflected the faint light of distant suns as it ventured into an unexplored region of space. Captain Zorax stood on the bridge, his slender frame draped in the traditional silver uniform of the Galactic Exploration Corps. His large, almond-shaped eyes narrowed as he studied the holographic display before him. Unusual energy signatures pulsed on the screen, emanating from a distant star system. "Science Officer Yalith, report," Zorax commanded, his voice a melodic whisper. Yalith, a tall, willowy figure with pale blue skin, approached the captain. "Sir, our sensors are detecting conflicting technology readings from the system ahead. We're picking up signatures of both primitive and highly advanced propulsion systems, as well as energy weapons spanning multiple eras." Zorax's brow furrowed in confusion. How is that possible? No known civilization simultaneously utilizes such vastly different levels of technology. "It defies our understanding of technological progression," Yalith agreed. "Shall we investigate further?" Zorax nodded. "Proceed with caution. Set a course for the system, and prepare for potential first contact scenarios." As the Zephyr approached the peculiar star system, the crew worked diligently to gather more information. The ship's advanced sensors probed the depths of space, revealing a sight that left them stunned. In orbit around the system's third planet, a sprawling fleet of ships stretched out before them. The vessels varied greatly in size and design, from small, angular fighters to massive, bulky battleships. Some ships bore the scars of countless battles, their hulls pitted and scorched, while others gleamed with pristine, reflective surfaces. Zorax leaned forward in his chair, his eyes widening in astonishment. "I've never seen anything like this. The sheer diversity of their fleet is astounding." Yalith's slender fingers danced across the sensor controls, refining the scans. "Captain, the ships appear to belong to a species called humans. They originate from the third planet, which they call Earth." "Humans," Zorax repeated, tasting the unfamiliar word. "What can you tell me about their technology?" Yalith's face contorted in a mixture of awe and disbelief. "It's unlike anything we've encountered before. Their ships seem to incorporate technology from multiple stages of development, from primitive chemical rockets to advanced fusion drives. They have energy shields alongside physical armor plating. It's as if they've taken evolutionary leaps while still clinging to their technological roots." Zorax pondered the implications of this discovery. A civilization that embraces both its past and future, merging them into a unique and formidable presence in the galaxy. The Zephyr continued to observe the human fleet from a safe distance, its crew marveling at the sight before them. The alien ship's sensors recorded and analyzed every detail, seeking to unravel the mysteries of this new species. As they watched, a sense of unease crept into Zorax's mind. The human fleet, with its amalgamation of old and new technologies, represented something unpredictable and potentially dangerous. He knew that the Galactic Exploration Corps would need to proceed with great care in their interactions with this enigmatic civilization. "Maintain our position," Zorax ordered. "Continue to gather data and prepare a report for headquarters. We must learn all we can about these humans before making any further moves." The crew of the Zephyr settled in for a long period of observation, their minds buzzing with questions and theories about the strange and intriguing species they have discovered. Little did they know that their encounter with humanity would soon take an unexpected turn, forever changing the course of galactic history. Observing the anomaly. As the Zephyr maintained its silent vigil, the crew focused their efforts on studying the human fleet. The more they observed, the more perplexed they became by the humans' unconventional approach to space travel and warfare. The alien ship's sensors revealed a fleet composed of ships from different eras and technological levels. Some vessels resembled ancient seafaring boats, with angular hulls and primitive propulsion systems. Others were sleek, streamlined crafts that seemed to slice through the void with effortless grace. The largest ships were massive, bulky behemoths bristling with weapons and armor. Zorax and Yalith pored over the data, trying to make sense of the contradictory readings. "I don't understand," Yalith murmured, her brow furrowed in concentration. "How can they have fusion reactors and chemical thrusters on the same ship? It's like mixing stone tools with quantum computers." Zorax nodded, equally puzzled. "And yet, they seem to have found a way to make it work. Look at the efficiency readings. Despite the disparities in technology, their ships are performing at remarkably high levels." As they continued to analyze the data, a pattern began to emerge. The human ships, while individually unique, worked together in perfect harmony. The primitive vessels acted as support craft, providing defense and covering fire for the more advanced ships. The sleek, fast ships darted in and out of formations, conducting lightning-fast strikes against simulated targets. The massive battleships formed the backbone of the fleet, their powerful weapons and thick armor making them formidable adversaries. "It's almost like a symphony," Yalith mused, each ship playing its part in a greater whole. They found a way to leverage their technological diversity into a cohesive fighting force. Zorax leaned back in his chair, his mind racing with the implications of this discovery. "This goes against everything we know about spacecraft design and fleet tactics. Our own ships are homogeneous, each one built to the same exacting standards. But the humans, they embrace variety and individuality, turning them into strengths." As the Zephyr sensors continued to gather data, the crew marveled at the intricacies of the human fleet. They watched as the ships conducted drills and maneuvers, their movements perfectly choreographed despite the vast differences in their capabilities. One particular ship caught Zorax's attention, a massive battleship with a pitted, scarred hull that spoke of countless battles. Its weapon systems were a mix of primitive projectile launchers and advanced energy cannons, while its engines combined chemical thrusters with fusion drives. The ship moved with a grace that belied its size, its crew working in perfect unison to guide it through the void. "That ship," Zorax pointed at the holographic display. "It's like a microcosm of their entire fleet. Old and new technologies working together, adaptability and resilience forged into a single vessel." Yalith nodded, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's a testament to their ingenuity and determination. They refuse to abandon their past, instead using it as a foundation for their future." As the alien crew continued to observe the human fleet, a sense of unease began to grow within them. They had always believed that technological progress followed a linear path, with each new development rendering the old obsolete. But the humans challenged that belief, showing that there was strength and wisdom in embracing one's history and heritage. Zorax knew that this encounter would change everything. The humans represented a new paradigm, a civilization that defied conventional wisdom and forged its path. He realized that the Galactic Exploration Corps would need to reassess their understanding of the universe and their place within it. "We have much to learn from these humans," Zorax said softly, his gaze fixed on the holographic display. "They have shown us that there is more than one way to achieve greatness, that diversity and adaptability are the keys to survival and success." The crew of the Zephyr continued their silent observation, marveling at the strange and wonderful civilization they had discovered. They knew that this was only the beginning, and that the future held countless possibilities for both their species and the enigmatic humans who had captured their imagination. Perplexing ship designs. As the Zephyr continued to monitor the human fleet, the alien crew delved deeper into the mysteries of the ship's designs. The more they studied the vessels, the more they realized just how much the humans had diverged from conventional spacecraft engineering. Zorax and Yalith focused their attention on one of the larger human battleships, a massive vessel bristling with an array of weapons and defensive systems. The ship's hull was a patchwork of different materials, from gleaming metal alloys to rougher, more primitive plates that looked like they had been salvaged from ancient ruins. "Look at that," Yalith said, pointing to a section of the hull. "They're using simple steel plating alongside advanced nano-composite armor. It's like they're deliberately choosing to incorporate older technologies into their designs. Zorax nodded, his eyes narrowing as he studied the readouts. And yet, despite the apparent crudeness of some of these materials, the overall structural integrity of the ship is remarkably high. It's as if they found a way to make these disparate elements work together in harmony. As they continued their analysis, they discovered that the human ships were equipped with an astonishing array of weapons. Some vessels bore the scars of ancient warfare, their hulls pitted with the impact craters of chemical rockets and solid projectiles. Others gleamed with the deadly elegance of advanced energy weapons, their turrets humming with barely contained power. They have railguns and laser cannons on the same ship, Yalith marveled, her voice tinged with disbelief. And look at this, they've even installed plasma torpedoes alongside nuclear missiles. It's a bizarre mix of technologies from different eras. Zorax leaned back in his chair, his mind whirring with the implications of these discoveries. It's almost as if they're hedging their bets, he mused. By incorporating multiple types of weapons, they ensure that they can adapt to any situation. If one system fails, they have others to fall back on. The alien crew also noticed that the human ships seemed to be designed with a focus on redundancy and resilience. They had backup systems for their backup systems, with manual controls and analog fail-safes built into every critical component. It's incredible, Yalith said, shaking her head in amazement. They've anticipated every possible point of failure and designed their ships to keep functioning even in the face of catastrophic damage. It's a level of redundancy that borders on paranoia. Zorax couldn't help but admire the ingenuity of the human designers. They've learned from their past, he said softly. They know that space is a harsh and unforgiving environment, and they've built their ships to withstand anything the universe can throw at them. As they delved deeper into the ship's schematics, they discovered that the humans had also incorporated a dizzying array of sensors and communication systems into their vessels. Some ships used ancient radio waves and analog signals, while others employed quantum entanglement and faster-than-light communication arrays. They're covering all their bases, Yalith said, her eyes widening in realization. By using multiple types of sensors and communication systems, they ensure that they can always stay in contact with each other, no matter what kind of interference or jamming they encounter. Zorax nodded, a sense of respect growing within him for these strange and ingenious creatures. They're not just building ships, he said softly. They're building communities. Each vessel is a self-contained world, equipped with everything its crew needs to survive and thrive in the depths of space. As the Zephyr continued to observe the human fleet, the alien crew couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and admiration for the humans' unconventional approach to spacecraft design. They had taken the lessons of their past and woven them into the fabric of their future, creating vessels that were at once ancient and cutting-edge, primitive and advanced. We have underestimated these humans, Zorax said, his voice filled with a newfound respect. Their ships may seem crude and impractical to us, but they are a reflection of their resilience, their adaptability, and their unwavering determination to survive and thrive in the face of any challenge. The crew of the Zephyr knew that they had stumbled upon a civilization unlike any they had encountered before. The humans were a mystery, a puzzle waiting to be unraveled, and the alien crew was determined to learn all they could about these remarkable beings and their equally remarkable ships. Initiating contact. As the Zephyr continued to observe the human fleet, Captain Zorax found himself increasingly intrigued by the enigmatic species. The more he learned about their unconventional approach to space travel and warfare, the more he realized that he needed to know more. After much deliberation with his crew, Zorax made the decision to initiate first contact with the humans. It was a momentous step, one that carried with it both great risk and great potential for discovery and cooperation. Yalith, prepare a message on all frequencies, Zorax ordered, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment. We will introduce ourselves and express our desire for peaceful communication. Yalith nodded, her slender fingers already dancing across the communication console. "Message ready, Captain. Shall I transmit?" Zorax took a deep breath, his gaze fixed on the holographic display of the human fleet. "Transmit." The Zephyr's powerful communication array hummed to life, sending out a carefully crafted message of peace and goodwill. The alien crew waited with bated breath, their eyes glued to the sensors as they watched for any response from the human ships. For a long moment, there was nothing but silence. Then, suddenly, the sensors lit up with a flurry of activity. The human fleet had detected the Zephyr's transmission and was responding in kind. "Captain, we're receiving a hail from the largest human ship," Yalith reported, her voice tinged with excitement. "They're requesting visual communication." Zorax felt a thrill of anticipation run through him. This was the moment he had been waiting for. On screen, he ordered, straightening his posture as he prepared to face the unknown. The holographic display shimmered and resolved into the image of a human woman. She was tall and slender, with short, dark hair and piercing green eyes. She wore a crisp blue uniform adorned with numerous insignia and medals, and her face bore the lines of a leader who had seen countless battles. "Greetings," the woman said, her voice clear and strong. "I am Admiral Nora Helms of the United Earth Ship Titan. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?" Zorax stood, bowing his head in a gesture of respect. "I am Captain Zorax of the Galactic Exploration Corps vessel Zephyr. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Admiral Helms." Admiral Helms smiled, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "The honor is mine, Captain Zorax. Your message said that you come in peace. What brings you to our corner of the galaxy?" Zorax took a moment to gather his thoughts. "We were drawn here by the unusual energy signatures emanating from your fleet. As we observed your ships, we couldn't help but marvel at their unique designs and capabilities. We have never encountered a civilization quite like yours before." Admiral Helms nodded, a hint of pride in her expression. "Our ships are a reflection of our history and our values. We have always believed in the power of adaptability and resilience, and we have built our fleet to embody those qualities." Zorax felt a surge of respect for the human leader. "Your approach is admirable, Admiral. We have much to learn from your people." Admiral Helms leaned forward, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "And we have much to learn from you as well, Captain Zorax. I propose an exchange of knowledge and culture. Would you and your crew be willing to come aboard the Titan to discuss the possibilities of cooperation between our species?" Zorax glanced at Yalith, who nodded eagerly. "We would be honored, Admiral Helms. Thank you for your invitation." Admiral Helms smiled warmly. "Excellent. We will prepare for your arrival. I look forward to meeting you in person, Captain Zorax." With that, the communication ended, and the Zephyr crew found themselves buzzing with excitement and anticipation. They were about to embark on a journey of discovery, one that would take them into the heart of the human fleet and introduce them to a civilization unlike any they had ever known. As the Zephyr moved towards the Titan, Zorax couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. The human ship loomed before them, a behemoth of metal and energy that seemed to defy all conventional wisdom. It was a ship that had been built to weather any storm, to face any challenge, and to emerge victorious against all odds. And as the alien crew prepared to set foot on the Titan, they knew that they were about to embark on an adventure that would change their lives forever. They were about to meet the humans, a species that had captured their imaginations and challenged their preconceptions, and they couldn't wait to see what the future held. A tour of Titan. As the Zephyr docked with the massive human ship, Captain Zorax felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation course through his veins. He was about to set foot on an alien vessel, one that embodied a way of thinking and engineering that was completely foreign to him. Zorax, Yalith, and a small security detail disembarked from the Zephyr and were greeted by a welcoming party of human officers. Admiral Helms stood at the forefront, her posture straight and her eyes gleaming with warmth and curiosity. "Welcome aboard the Titan, Captain Zorax," Admiral Helms said, extending her hand in a gesture of friendship. "It is an honor to have you and your crew as our guests." Zorax took the offered hand, marveling at the firm, confident grip of the human leader. "The honor is ours, Admiral Helms. We are eager to learn more about your remarkable ship and your equally remarkable species." Admiral Helms smiled and motioned for the alien delegation to follow her. "Then let me give you a personal tour of the Titan. I think you'll find that our ship is full of surprises and wonders." As they walked through the corridors of the Titan, Zorax and Yalith couldn't help but marvel at the sheer scale and complexity of the vessel. The ship was a labyrinth of twisting passages and cavernous chambers, each one filled with a dizzying array of technology and machinery. What struck the aliens most, however, was the seamless blend of old and new that seemed to permeate every aspect of the ship. They passed by ancient analog control panels that sat alongside sleek, holographic displays. They saw crew members using traditional, physical tools to repair advanced, nano-composite systems. Everywhere they looked, they saw evidence of a civilization that had embraced its past while still pushing forward into the future. Admiral Helms led them through the ship's massive engine room, where the hum of fusion reactors mixed with the steady thrumming of chemical thrusters. She showed them the ship's armory, where railguns and laser cannons sat alongside ancient projectile weapons that looked like they had been pulled from a museum. "You see," Admiral Helms explained, "we humans have always believed in the power of redundancy and adaptability. We know that technology can fail, and we know that the universe is full of unpredictable dangers. By incorporating multiple systems and backups into our ships, we ensure that we can keep fighting, no matter what the universe throws at us." Zorax nodded, a sense of admiration growing within him. "It is a philosophy that has clearly served you well, Admiral. Your ships are a testament to your ingenuity and your resilience." As they continued their tour, Admiral Helms introduced them to various members of her crew, each one a specialist in their own field. There were engineers who could coax life out of the most battered and broken systems, and there were warriors who had honed their skills in countless battles across the stars. What impressed Zorax and Yalith most, however, was the sense of camaraderie and unity that seemed to bind the human crew together. They worked together seamlessly, each one supporting and complementing the others in a way that spoke of deep trust and mutual respect. "Your crew is remarkable, Admiral," Yalith said, her voice filled with admiration. "They work together like a single, well-oiled machine, despite the diversity of their backgrounds and specialties." Admiral Helms smiled, a hint of pride in her eyes. "That is the strength of humanity, Yalith. We are a species of individuals, each one unique and different from the others. But when we come together, when we unite behind a common cause, there is nothing we cannot achieve." As the tour drew to a close, Zorax and Yalith found themselves filled with a newfound respect and admiration for the human species. They had seen firsthand the ingenuity and determination that had allowed humanity to thrive among the stars, and they knew that they had much to learn from these remarkable beings. "Thank you for the tour, Admiral Helms," Zorax said, bowing his head in gratitude. "Your ship and your crew have opened our eyes to new possibilities and new ways of thinking. We are honored to have been given this opportunity to learn from you." Admiral Helms returned the bow, a smile playing across her features. "The honor is ours, Captain Zorax. And this is only the beginning. We have so much more to show you, so much more to share. Together, I believe our species can achieve great things." With those words, the human and alien leaders parted ways, each one filled with a sense of excitement and anticipation for the future. They knew that they had taken the first steps towards a new era of cooperation and discovery, and they couldn't wait to see where those steps would lead. And as Zorax and Yalith returned to the Zephyr, they knew that their lives had been forever changed by their encounter with the humans. They had seen the power of resilience and adaptability firsthand, and they knew that they would carry those lessons with them for the rest of their lives. Demonstration of might. In the wake of the tour of the Titan, Captain Zorax and his crew found themselves eager to learn more about the capabilities of the human fleet. They had seen the technology and the ingenuity that went into the construction of the ships, but they had yet to witness the full might of the human military in action. Admiral Helms, sensing their curiosity, offered to arrange a demonstration of the fleet's capabilities. "I think it would be beneficial for both our species to see what the other is capable of," she said, a glint of excitement in her eyes. "A friendly display of our strengths and abilities, to foster understanding and cooperation." Zorax readily agreed, and soon the Zephyr found itself escorted to a designated training area, where a portion of the human fleet had gathered for the demonstration. As the alien crew watched from the safety of their ship, the human vessels began their display. First, a squadron of sleek, nimble fighters took to the void, their engines flaring with brilliant blue light as they engaged in a series of intricate maneuvers and mock battles. They darted and weaved through the darkness, their pilots demonstrating a level of skill and coordination that left the Zephyr crew in awe. Next, a group of larger, more heavily armed ships joined the fray. They moved with a grace and precision that belied their size, their weapon systems engaging in a dazzling display of firepower and accuracy. Laser beams and plasma bolts crisscrossed the void, while missiles and torpedoes streaked towards simulated targets with unerring precision. But it was the final act of the demonstration that truly showcased the might and adaptability of the human fleet. A group of ships, each one representing a different era and technological level, came together in a unified formation. There were ancient, battered vessels that looked like they had been through 1,000 battles, and there were sleek, modern ships that gleamed with the latest advancements in human engineering. Together, they engaged in a complex, multi-layered simulation that tested their ability to work together and adapt to changing circumstances. The older ships used their rugged durability and redundant systems to weather the storm of enemy fire, while the newer ships darted in and out of the fray, using their advanced weapons and sensors to pick off key targets with surgical precision. As the simulation reached its climax, the human ships came together in a final devastating display of unity and power. They formed a massive interlocking formation, their shields and weapon systems working in perfect harmony to create an impenetrable wall of force and firepower. Zorax and his crew watched in stunned silence as the human fleet tore through the simulated enemy with ease, their ships moving and fighting as one. It was a display of might and coordination that left them humbled and awestruck, and they knew that they had witnessed something truly special. As the demonstration came to an end, Admiral Helms hailed the Zephyr, a proud smile on her face. "I hope that gives you a better understanding of what we're capable of," she said, her voice filled with a quiet confidence. "Our ships may be diverse and unconventional, but that is our strength. We are adaptable, resilient, and united in our purpose." Zorax could only nod in agreement, his mind still reeling from the display he had just witnessed. "You have shown us the true power of your fleet, Admiral Helms," he said, his voice filled with respect and admiration. "We have much to learn from your people, and we are honored to have been given this opportunity to witness your strength firsthand." As the Zephyr and the human fleet parted ways, Zorax and his crew found themselves filled with a newfound sense of awe and respect for the human species. They had seen the might of the human military in action, and they knew that they had witnessed something truly special. But more than that, they had seen the true strength of humanity, the ability to come together, to adapt and overcome, no matter the odds. It was a strength that they knew would serve the humans well in the challenges that lay ahead, and they couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation for what the future might hold. For they knew that the humans were a force to be reckoned with, a species that had the power to shape the very fabric of the universe. And they couldn't wait to see what other wonders and marvels this remarkable civilization had in store. Parting thoughts. As the Zephyr prepared to depart from the human fleet, Captain Zorax and his crew found themselves filled with a profound sense of awe and respect for the remarkable species they had encountered. The humans had defied all of their expectations and preconceptions, and had shown them a way of life and a way of thinking that was truly alien and yet strangely familiar. In the days that followed their first contact, Zorax and his crew had spent countless hours in deep discussion with their human counterparts. They had exchanged stories and ideas, hopes and dreams, and had come to see the universe through entirely new eyes. They had learned of the humans' long and turbulent history, of the wars and struggles that had shaped them into the species they were today. They had heard tales of great heroes and terrible villains, of triumphs and tragedies that had echoed across the stars. But more than that, they had seen the true strength of the human spirit, the unbreakable will and unbending determination that had allowed them to overcome countless obstacles and challenges. The humans were a species that refused to be defined by their limitations, that refused to accept the impossible as a barrier to their dreams. And nowhere was this more evident than in their approach to space travel and exploration. The humans had taken the lessons of their past and had woven them into the very fabric of their ships and their society. They had embraced the old and the new, the primitive and the advanced, and had created something entirely unique and powerful in the process. As Zorax stood on the bridge of the Zephyr, watching the human fleet grow smaller in the distance, he couldn't help but feel a sense of profound gratitude and respect for the species that had welcomed them so warmly. The humans had shown them the true meaning of resilience and adaptability, and had given them a glimpse of a future that was full of wonder and possibility. Yelith, standing beside him, echoed his thoughts. "They are truly remarkable, aren't they?" she said softly, her gaze fixed on the distant ships. "To have come so far, to have achieved so much, and yet to still be so open and so eager to learn and grow." Zorax nodded, a smile playing across his features. "They are a testament to the power of the spirit, Yalith. They have shown us that there is no limit to what a species can achieve when they are united in their purpose and their vision." As the Zephyr made its way back out into the depths of space, Zorax knew that the encounter with the humans would stay with him for the rest of his life. He had seen the true potential of a species that had refused to be defined by its limitations, and he knew that the lessons he had learned would shape the course of his own people's future. For the humans had shown them that the universe was a vast and wondrous place, full of endless possibilities and untold wonders, and he knew that together, their two species could achieve great things, could push back the boundaries of the unknown, and create a future that was brighter and more beautiful than anything they had ever imagined. As the stars streaked past the viewports of the Zephyr, Zorax felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement for the journey ahead. The humans had opened his eyes to a new way of seeing the universe, and he couldn't wait to share that vision with his own people. For he knew that the encounter with the humans was only the beginning, the first step on a long and winding path that would lead their two species to a future of unimaginable wonder and discovery, and he couldn't wait to see where that path would take them next. So the Zephyr sailed on through the endless expanse of space, its crew filled with a sense of hope and purpose that they had never known before. They had seen the true potential of the universe, and they knew that, together, there was nothing they could not achieve. And as the stars watched over them, silent and eternal, they knew that the future was theirs to shape, a future that would be written in the light of 1,000,000 suns and in the dreams of a species that had dared to reach for the impossible.